But for more on that story, I'm joined by SABC News reporter Sibongile Mkani-Mpolweni. Thanks so much for your time. So it's not only the power that's a problem, the water is now being affected as well.
Yes, City of Joburg is saying that they are unable to pump water at their reservoirs when there's load shedding. So residents in the upper areas, your Brixton, Auckland Park, Crosby area are the most affected, even though they have a reservoir here just up the road at Brixton, but because of the power outages, then they can't pump water into the residents. So he's saying that they're basically saying that if you must get to know your schedule, your power schedule, and familiarize yourself with the times, because when the power goes off, the water also goes off. And when the power comes back, the water doesn't immediately come back because it's a process. Once the electricity kicks in, then the water has to be pumped into the tower, the reservoir, then into your taps.
And we know the broader overview of how it's affecting people, but let's find out on a day-to-day basis what residents are saying to you about how that inconvenience manifests in their lives.
They are very angry. While we were there at the Brixton Reservoir, there was a guy who came in who wanted to find out there at the reservoir, what is the hold up? The electricity is back, but there's still no water. He says he woke up at 4 a.m. this morning and the water was running slow, very slow at the pump, at the taps, and by 5 o'clock the taps had run dry, and from that time it had been 6 to 7 hours them sitting without water. And he's saying that this is their constitutional right, they have a right to water, and now this is not happening, and they're saying that they don't even have water tankers bringing them water, so they are sitting with no power and no water. What must happen?
Do we know if there's been any official response to these issues that have been raised by not only those Brixton residents?
Yes, Joburg Water is saying that they're advising that people must please familiarize themselves with the times so that they can keep water. So you must have your 5-liter dongle at home with water. When load shedding comes, then you at least have that water.
Good to know. And then in terms of small businesses and businesses in that area, are they also affected? Are they making alternative plans to try and ensure that they can service their potential customers?
Well, let's start here at home. We were affected this morning. There was no water for the bathrooms and stuff because of the load shedding. And businesses around, some had closed. At the optometrist, they had closed because they had no water and it's unhygienic. They had no power. They couldn't do anything, so they were forced to close and send staff home. And as well as other businesses, other shops that cannot afford generators. They were saying they are opened because they are small shops, but it's risky because there is no water, there is no electricity, they don't have money for generators. So it's quite a pain. Students from UJ, they're saying that they had to skip class today because they woke up with no water and there's no electricity. They can't bath, they can't go to class. They are hungry.
Thanks so much for that insight. Sibongile Mkani-Mpolweni giving us an insight into what's happening around us in Auckland Park here with regards to that power and water shortages.